In this video, I'm going to share with you the real spiritual reason why America is falling apart, what you can do about it, how we can potentially fix this country, and how we can completely change the world and make the world a better place and create this new earth together. If you're new to the channel, my name is Thor. This is Thorganic. Welcome. This is where we talk about spirituality, consciousness, love, and freedom every day as we co-create the new earth together. It is so good to be here with you right now. So let's just jump right into the video. The real reason that America is falling apart is because America lacks a very key piece in the equation on how to properly live life. You see, America is a very young country. America has only been around for like the last 300 years. On the grand scheme of things, that is a blip of time, really. And to think about how many changes we've experienced over the last 300 years, it's quite appalling. But there are certain fundamental principles that are very important to the sustainability of life on this planet that when left untouched, when left unrecognized, it accelerates the process of a country falling apart. You have to understand that every civilization up until this point has risen and fallen. This has happened 100% of the time. So for us to think that for some reason that America is completely infallible to falling apart, to ever collapsing, is a little bit of a stretch. And that might trigger certain people, that might trigger very pro-patriotic people, but if you're a spiritual individual watching this video, then you see through the layers of consciousness. We have to understand that we have been indoctrinated by patriotic propaganda since the day that we were born. I remember going to school in Hawaii, which is where I'm from. So technically, I'm not really American, even though I have an American passport. I'm more Hawaiian than anything else. But Hawaii has been illegally occupied by America for the last 156 plus years. So, you know, in Hawaii, we have a very different perspective on America. We kind of have seen how it has sort of negatively affected the Hawaiian Islands and the Hawaiian people. How basically America is all about Western thinking. So if we want to take this video in a certain direction, I need to paint the picture of what Western thinking is, okay? In the cultural dysphoria of life itself, there is a inverse triangle. Do you make a triangle? I think this is how you make a triangle. So there is an inverse triangle, and this triangle has 3 points. This is the trifecta of cultural dysphoria. What the trifecta of cultural dysphoria is on one point you have Western thought, on another point you have Eastern thought, and on the other point you have Indigenous thought. Western thought is all about extortion. Western thought is all about conquering. Western thought is all about the external. It's about what we can do outside, what we can basically project, how we can force ourselves, how we can penetrate. It's very much a masculine pole. It's a masculine pole. It is like, America is kind of like a toxic stepfather. It is so toxically patriarchal. It is so toxically masculine that it basically bypasses its heart center and just tries to force its will upon the world. When you live in a society like that and operate out of that state of consciousness, you become very unbalanced, you become very unstable, and you essentially start biting your tail and start doubling down on your toxic behavior. A very clear example of this is America's military-industrial complex. America took over the world and has full control over the world and has the US dollar as the reserve currency because it took that power by force. When you take power by force, basically you have to double down on force in order to maintain your power. Therefore, America is afraid to lose its power, and so it needs to continue to perpetuate this toxic stepfather, toxic masculine philosophy on how to conquer the world. And it does that and justifies that through its own self-righteousness. America is very much ego-based in its nature. It thinks that it's better than everyone else. The rest of the world often see Americans as pompous assholes. Why? Because they have this sort of entitlement to thinking that they own the world when they don't. Now, spiritually, this is a very big problem and issue to deal with, because essentially to resolve the issue, it requires an individual and the collective group of people to sort of reassess themselves, humble themselves, feel their trauma, and feel the amount of pain and suffering they have caused other people and other countries. So this is a very tall task to ask for, and it is a lot easier to just numb, to ignore, and to shut out the noise, just to be in ignorance. It's a lot easier to do that. So that's what we have in the Western thought. Now, on the other side of that, we have Eastern thought. Eastern thought is all about the journey to go within yourself. The Eastern thought, if you think of the yogis, the Buddhists, these people are passive people. These are passive cultures. They're not looking to conquer other countries. They're not looking for surface level power, because innately they know and have discovered over thousands and thousands of years, these yogis, these cultures have gone back since the beginning of time itself. That's a very important distinction, because America is such a young country. America's only been around for like 300 years. Therefore, the consciousness of America is sort of like an adolescent child. It's sort of like a teenager. It is not mature in its nature. It is sort of rebelling against the system. America is founded off of a revolution of basically people that were like, I don't like how England is operating, so I'm just gonna, and I don't like the rules, so I'm just gonna go make my own rules. Well, when you're kind of shooting off the hip like that, there's a lot of room for things to go astray, because your culture that you have created has not been tested, has not been vetted through generations and thousands of years of practice. So the Eastern philosophies and the Eastern way is a lot older, and it's a lot wiser. That's why you can associate that energy with like Lao Tzu, or like some old Chinese guy with a beard that's down to his feet. And it's a lot more peaceful. It's a lot more zen. It's a lot more balanced and stable. The reason why is because these cultures are a lot older, and they've had time to mature in their wisdom and understanding of life itself. You have to understand that the East has been riled with war, with imperialism, with change over many, many generations. So they've had a lot of time to see the ups and downs that come with life. And whenever you get kicked in the face a few times out of life, you begin to start learning your lessons. Now, America has never really gotten kicked in the face, because they've just had the sort of luck, so to speak, of just having this blunt militaristic power that overwhelms everything and everyone. But ultimately, America is going to have to change. America is going to have to change, because this toxic masculine patriarchal approach to power and to life is completely unsustainable. It's completely unsustainable because it basically is just not, it's not a holistic system. And Robert F. Kennedy has said and made it very clear that America can never heal. It can never become the potential that it was meant to be, not just in the talk, right? Not just in the propaganda, not just in saying like, oh, we are the best and we are the best team on earth and hoorah, USA, USA. Like, yeah, it's cool, right? It's cool. It's like we're a big sports team, but like, what's underneath that? What is the day-to-day experience like for most American people? What is the collective byproduct of the culture that has been created here? Well, what's missing, and what I think is the real spiritual reason why America is falling apart, is because it lacks the third pole of the culture Dysphoria. Many people now are turning to the Eastern ways. Many people are doing yoga, they're healing. We're going through this collective awakening right now. The feminine, the collective feminine energy is rising up. Femininity, we had that. Men are becoming more effeminate. There's definitely a balance to it, which I talk about in some of my other videos, and I'll continue to elaborate on, because this sort of like simp, weak man that just wants a woman to be in charge of him and can't stand up straight and can't protect his family and is too woke in his agenda, like that shit don't work, bro. You got to get that shit out of there. That's some bullshit right there. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. The third pole, the thing that America is missing, the thing that will potentially make America whole and bring America back and make America great again, is not necessarily Donald Trump. The thing that will make America great again is what's missing and what has been here before America came, and it is indigenous wisdom. Indigenous wisdom, indigenous thought is the third pole in the triangle of cultural dysphoria. The third pole is indigenous thought. What is indigenous thought? Indigenous thought is about relationship. Indigenous thought is about our relationship with everything, our relationship with each other, our relationship with spirit, and specifically our relationship with nature and the land itself. You see, we are not isolated beings. We are beings on this planet that are just a part of this whole existence. We are just as important, or probably less important, but equally as important as every other species on this planet. Indigenous thought is the consciousness around our relationship, how we can be in right relationship with everything around us, with nature, and with life itself. You know, for me, growing up in Hawaii, I've had the privilege of understanding and having access to Western thought, understanding and having access to Eastern thought, but also having understanding and access to indigenous thought. Indigenous thought is the key to unlocking the new earth and to saving humanity, because indigenous thought will allow us to shift our culture into a way that is sustainable and that is regenerative. Indigenous thinking is all about creating right relationship with the land, with the people, and with life itself. It's sort of like a shift of, it's sort of like an expression of the Eastern philosophy of yoga. Yoga really means union, and it means coming into balance with God, with spirit, and with self. When we merge the two and the three, when we merge indigenous thought with Eastern thought, we come into balance and sacred reciprocity with life itself. When we merge the Western thought to the indigenous thought and the Eastern thought, now we have full balance and coherence and the ability to create from a place of righteousness and sustainability. This is what it means to bring God into our existence and to press God through our consciousness. The Garden of Eden, heaven on earth, is a real thing that actually exists. And we might not see it on the surface level of life right now, because we are living in the byproduct of false thinking. We are living in the byproduct of the false manifestation of man's free will to create things in life that are not fully aligned with God, that are more aligned with darkness, with fear, with separation, with lower vibrational density. As we rise up into higher vibrational frequencies, we begin to become aware of these things, and we begin to shift the culture collectively so that we can live into more balance, into more harmony, and sacred reciprocity with one another and the world itself. This requires us to look at ourselves honestly. It requires us to open our heart, to heal the trauma, to feel the emotions that have not been able to be felt since childhood. All of these things are happening on this planet right now. And for each and every one of you tuning into this frequency, you are a part of this collective awakening that is happening on this planet right now. You are an awakened being. You are a light worker that is co-manifesting this new earth together. And if you're doing that, then you need to be doing that with a community of light workers. You need to find your soul tribe. Look, guys, we're not meant to be doing this thing on our own. The indigenous people knew that we needed to do this all together. The nuclear family doesn't work anymore. Hyper-individuality does not work anymore. The new is about community. And we have created and are creating a community of like-minded light workers who are manifesting not only financial abundance, not only manifesting the dream life that you desire, and not only supporting you in that with the business, with the systems, with the culture, with the blueprint to co-create this new earth together, but to do so in community with other people. If you're interested in looking into something like that, if you want some support on your journey with anything, then click the links in the description down below. Book a 15-minute discovery call with me where we can align and help you align with your higher self. If you enjoyed this video and you like the vibe that we're throwing down here, my mission is to raise human consciousness and reduce human suffering, and my purpose is to be a beacon of light on this planet. Thank you for supporting me in this mission as we heal, awaken, and transform together. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm so excited to share this information with you. I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. May your life be so blessed. May you have everything that you need, and may God be so good to you. May your path be clear. May you be peaceful. May you be happy, and may you be free. I'll see you guys on the next video. Aloha.